know that out of the amount of people working today, 50% are women, and of those 50%, 12% work in the field of computer science. The declination of women isn't something that just happened. It's happened over a period of time. In fact, in our day and age, technology is on the rise. This means that many jobs that are not currently available will be created. According to csmonitor.com, by the year 2020, there will be 1.4 million jobs available, and most of them will be left unfilled due to the amount of current graduates. In order to fill this gap, we have to tap into the women population and start removing stereotypes that scares women away from the field of computer science. This can be done by using social media to set trends that approve of women going into the field of computer science. Also, having mentors and role models will help in opening the minds of young girls, which would influence them to know that computer science is not just for guys.
Ada Lovelace created the first computer program in 1840. In 1944, Grace Hopper was the first creator of a compiler for the programming language for the Mark I computer, and the ENIAC computer was programmed by 6 female mathematicians. Adele Goldberg was one of the 3 programmers of Smalltalk in the 70s, one of the first object-oriented programming languages. This was used to launch the Apple Lisa in 1983, and a year later, the original Macintosh. Despite all these accomplishments, only 18% of undergraduate degrees in computer science are earned by women. But why? There are a handful of reasons. In youth, girls are traditionally pushed to play with dolls instead of robots, leading them to pursue a more feminine career. Historically, women have chosen lower-paying jobs such as teaching or journalism, while men, known as family providers, usually chose higher-paying careers. Oftentimes, CEOs, investors, and other leaders are biased against women. They can feel singled out and ostracized, as well as having to deal with sexism and harassment from their peers. And finally, there is the ever-present, self-perpetuating stereotype that a programmer is a young white male. This leads to the uprising of the BROGRAMMER, a 20-something macho culture that's being imported directly from college campuses to startup offices. This identity is unfortunately often reflected in startups, a place of workplace partying and drinking, but not human resources. To encourage more women to join this field, the BROGRAMMER culture needs to change.
According to the LA Times, over 50% of women working in STEM-related careers leave their jobs because of hostile work conditions. Many work environments do not allow the chance for women to advance in their careers, making them feel isolated and alone. Women also feel that they receive inflexible hours and unsupportive work environments. Women that work in male-dominated environments decide to leave their jobs instead of fighting for what's right. The lack of women faculty members in computer science cause female students to not have a role model or mentor. Female computer scientists cannot feel encouraged or inspired if they do not have someone else to look up to. Mentors are there to support the student and act as a resource to make connections within the field of computer science. Many people believe that computer science is only for men, which leads to different expectations and stereotypes. Computer science is a male-dominated career, which scares women away. In the 1980s, when personal computers were invented, they were marked as boy toys, and women were not encouraged to use them. Now, women are still not enticed to pursue STEM careers, which causes this large gender gap.
Men are expected to be better in science than women. This is a mentality we're going to have to change if we want to increase the amount of women in computer science. This problem can be solved by introducing coding to girls at a young age. This will give them time to fall in love with it and give them enough confidence to pursue it through college, which is something guys have had for a long time. There are several programs in place in order to establish this idea. An example would be Girls Who Code. This is an organization that teaches young girls how to code. They go to their elementary schools and have after-school programs in place in order to teach girls the basics of computer science. Education will be vital in making this vision that many computer scientists have into reality. Educating not only girls, but also the guys about the decrease of women in computer science will put us one step closer to filling the gap between women and men in the field of computer science. Getting rid of stereotypes will not only help in increasing the amount of women in computer science, but it will also increase the diversity. For example, programmers are taught to be guys who are antisocial and live in their mother's basement. Even though we all know that's not true, there are some people who view computer science as a whole with that kind of mentality. This is something we need to get rid of. Educating others on what computer science really is will help change their views on computer science, which will attract more people to the field, and in the long run increase the diversity of not only gender but also ethnicity.